But why do we need to do testing on the software? Because the customer, for suppose in an example, okay, I will give an example. Like I want to purchase a mobile phone. Okay, I am the customer. I want to purchase a mobile phone. So what I will expect? What I will expect? Okay, I have a certain budget like 10,000. Okay, and I'm expecting some features to be there in that mobile phone for the 10,000. Like I'm expecting 8 GB RAM and 512 GB of ROM. Okay, and I'm expecting camera is a 50 megapixel camera for 10,000 budget. Okay, and I also expecting the screen size should be some 7 inches. Okay, so this is my expectation. Okay, then what I will do? So then what I will do is I will approach certain shops. Then I will search for multiple mobile phones, right? For the 10,000, if you go to market, we'll get multiple mobile options, right? So whichever comes under my budget, okay, I should have also, I should have the features what I expected. So I will go and search multiple mobile phones, and I have found one phone. Okay, let's say example, I have found a one phone which I expect, which it has some expected features what I'm expecting. Okay, so once I purchase the mobile phone and start using it, okay, start using it, say some of the features is not working as I expected. Like suppose, okay, I took a pictures, okay, and I'm thinking that it's a 50 megapixel camera, but when I'm clicking the pics, I'm getting like a 10 megapixel pictures. So what happened here? I already spent a lot of budget, and I expected some features should be work as per me. But here some features are not working as per me. So here what do you understand? Because here the testing is not happen properly, right? So here the testing is not happen properly and released directly to the market. So what happened? The market will goes down for that particular brand. Okay, because the company is not releasing as per the customers expected mobile phones. So what happened? So much of frustration to the customers, and also there's so much of budget has lost. Okay, so much of time, everything will be lost, right? So they will lose complete market, they will complete lose business. So that it should not cause this, right? So something also happened to the customer. So when I develop the software, the customer will use it in the future. So if it is a buggy means the customer will back frustrate and cancel the next projects or whatever the things, they will go legal and all these things. So testing is required for every product. If the in that case, so in that example, if the testing is happening properly, then I will get my expected as expected, right? Then I will feel happy, right? So this should be happen during the testing phase one. So testing is required for every product or project to be released to the customer or market. Okay, so if it is the case in banking application, like I have given a small example like mobile phone, let's assume it's a banking application. How much will affect, how much will lose? Okay, because banking application most of the people will use. So if it is not working, if I transfer 1,000 rupees, but if the amount is deducted like 10,000, means how much it lost. So these things should be tested. Okay, so in order to become a buggy free the product or project, where the testing is the main level where we can decide whether the software or project is a buggy free or it's a bug product. There we can decide in the testing phases. Okay, so in order to give the project as a buggy free, we need to identify as many as bugs, as many as errors, whatever. So in order to do this, we need to find n as many as bugs as possible and report to the developer, like developer who will develop that application and make it fix and then retest and finally release the quality product to the customer. So testing is an activity to detect and identify the defects in the software, and the main objective of the testing is to deliver the quality product to the customer. So what is testing? So testing is an activity to detect and identify the defects in the software, and the main objective of the testing is to deliver the quality of the product to the customer. Okay, clear? Okay,
Clear.
so far what we have discussed today. So far we have discussed what is software, project, versus product. Okay, and why testing is required. These three things so far we have discussed. So clear or any confusion or not at all understood, please let me know here itself. So once we move to the next, we cannot come back to here also, right? Clear? If you clear, we can start. We can move to the next. Clear? Okay. Silence is the accepted one. I can accept. I can think like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So next. So here I will give you a very high level understanding of what kind of testing we will do and why testers not required any programming skills. Okay. Let me give you a high level picture. So there are different type of testing we need to do as part of Sdlc. So there are different types of testing we need to do as part of Sdlc software testing lifecycle. Okay. For example, in real-time environment, right? So there are two guys involved in the development process. One is developer. Okay, we can then call. Okay. So in real-time environment, there are two guys mainly involved in the software development process. One is developer, or we can call them as a programmers also. Okay. Then next is the other one called as the testers. We can call them as a QA people. Okay. These are the two teams majorly involved during the software development process. Okay. And don't think the rest of the people won't involve. Okay. Also involved. But these are the two roles who can put more effort to develop a software. Okay. So what are the main role of a developer is they will develop the software, means they will write the different programmings. Okay. They will write the different programs for the customer requirements based on the customer requirements, whether any programming language, whether it is Java, Python, C#, whatever the language, ML, whatever. Okay. And they don't do any testing. Okay. The developers just write the different programs for the customer requirements and they don't do any testing, means they will do only certain level of testing. Okay. They will do only certain level of testing, but we have to test a lot. But here we means QA people are testers. Okay. Developers don't do any certain, okay, they don't do any testing, but they will do certain level of testing. Okay. But we have to test a lot. So QA or testing team is different team. They are completely responsible for testing the entire software. Okay. They are the people who has the completely responsible for testing the entire software. So developer or programmer will develop the software and testers will test the entire software. Okay. But here, if you understand what is developer task is, what is the developer task is, they will write a small program. Okay. They will write a small programs. Like this is program 1 and this is program 2. Let's say all these are programs. Okay. Let's assume those are all programs. Okay. So they will write a small programs and they will also do a certain level of testing, like whether the program is working or not. Okay. Like they will give some input and they are expecting some output to be there. So this is also kind of testing. Okay. And what the level of testing, doing testing is called as unit testing. Okay. Okay. So developers will do as unit testing. So what is unit testing? So let's say example, this is program 1, P1. Okay. This is program 2, P2. Okay. Let's say this is P3. This is P4. Okay. Different. Like let's say example also 4 different developers has involved this. First developer has written program P1 and second developer has written P2, third developer P3 and fourth is P4. So what they will do initially, they have written some program here. Okay. Right. And they will test that the program is working or not. Like let's say example, they have written a logic for 1 + 2 = 3. Okay, they have written as something logic like 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So when they have run this program, so when they give one input as 1 and 2, okay, they should get 3. Okay, so they will do testing in that level only, means in that level means in that program wise only. Okay, whatever the program they had written, okay, by the each and every developer, they will test their own program, and that is called as unit testing. So unit testing is done basically done by the developers only for their respective code is working or not. Okay, means they test there are their own programs, what internal logic of the programs, like they will create some conditional statement and looping statements and everything. So they need to make sure all the lines of the code is properly executing or not when providing different kinds of input to this program, like 1 plus 2. If I provide 1 plus 2, I will should get a 3. So are we getting the correct output or not? So they will test internal program, that is called as unit testing. So unit testing, are you clear? What is unit testing? Unit testing is done by, who will done by the unit testing? Only developers do the unit testing, and that too also as per their program, what they have written for the program, and that is program is working as per their expectation or not. Okay, and this is done basically done by the developers at the developer point of view, because they know the program, how they had written the program, and similarly have multiple programs, they have communicate with each other. Okay, suppose, okay, here we are assuming 4 programmers and 4 developers. Okay, let's say example, this guy has written some logic, and this guy has written something, and this guy has written something, this guy has written something. But let's say example, now it's the time to integrate all these programs into a one. Okay, let's say some example, he has developed a login page. Okay, he has developed a login page. Let's say example, banking application. Okay, think in that way. Okay, this person has developed a login page, and this person has developed a home page, and this person has developed a account statements, and this person has developed a address profile change. Let's say so. Now in order to do this all these things, first I need to log in. Okay, if I log in, okay, if I give an input username password, my expected output is home page. So here for the P2 the input is what? Username and password. So once I click on this username and password, I will get the home page. So in home page, if I click on the view balance, the view balance has been written by this person. So I need to enter into the home page, then only I can see the view balance. Okay, then only after seeing the view balance only I can see the statement. Clear? So there is an interlink between each and everything. So it is a process, like for P2, P1 is the input, and P3, P2 is the input, and P4, P3 is the input. But finally we have to get some output, right? So these kind of programs will integrate each other. So like so here we are testing individually, but ultimately we have to test combining all these programs into a single program. Okay, single program. Let's say it's an example as M. Okay, no fan for me. Okay, so here, so suppose whatever output is given by the first person becomes input to the another person. Whatever the output is given by the second person, it is the input to the third person. It's a vice versa. So they need to test the common between. Okay, they have to test the communication between these programs or modules. It's called as integration testing. So integration testing is combining of all the programs or combining of all the modules into a single module. Okay, then we can call it as a integration testing. Okay, once we combine all this into a single program and then we test this, that is called as integration testing. So these two testings, okay, let I did not have. Okay, so these two things, these two testings, if we want to conduct, we need to know the programming skills or internal logic of the program. So that is the reason these two testings will done by the developer itself in their own environment. Okay, so in order to do these two things, we need to have some programming skills, or we should know the internal logic what they have written of the program. So that is the reason these two testings will be done by the only developers. Okay, these two will be done by the developers. Okay, so these two testings will be done by the developers only, but they don't here, the developers won't do any complete end-to-end testing. They will check whether these all combining all these programs into a single module, they will test that only, but they don't do the complete testing. So once they have written the particular code, they will perform unit and integration testing. Once they're done with these two testing, finally what they will do is they will integrate these programs as a build, okay, or a package or an executable format. Okay, so why it is executable formats means we do like okay, let me tell about. So once they have, the developers have done the unit testing and integration testing, what they will do, they will give this program into a build. Okay, build we can call build or executable format. Let's say example, okay, whenever you are using any desktop, okay, if you want to use Chrome browser, what you will do, you will download that Chrome extension, right, .exe executable file, right? So what is that? That is the combination of all the programs. Okay, they have combined into all the programs into a executable file. Okay, and they're combined into a executable file. From that file, if we double click on that, we'll install our Chrome browser into our systems, right? So that executable format, once the developer has done their unit and integration testing, they will convert this code into a some build or executable format. Okay, by using that executable format, we means here the testers. Okay, what we'll do, we just install the build in our QA environment, just like installing a software. Then we'll do a testing of the software. So what kind of testing we will do here? Because already unit testing is done and integration testing is also done by the developer, but here we will also do a testing, right? But this testing is completely done by the testing team or QA team only. So this is called as system testing. Okay, this is done by the testing team. So this is called as system testing. System means, here system means complete software. Okay, here system means complete software, the complete end-to-end we have to perform. But here what is the input is here, what is the input? The developer is written the code, because they're a developer written the code, because they know internal developers know the internal logic what they have written, because they know, because they are the people who created the software, right? They are able to test in the form of unit and integration testing, because they know the logic and the program. But when come to the system testing, okay, how the testers know the function of the application, right? We don't know the code or we don't know the logic. Okay, so before getting build from the developers, the tester has to do certain jobs. Okay, so until and unless the QA team get the executable format or executable file to us, we need to do certain jobs. So what are the things? We have to understand the requirements from the customers, and we will have to prepare the test cases, and then test cases, test plans, and all. So before the build getting ready from the developers, QA has to ready with all these action plans. So action plans here means we need to understand the requirements, we need to understand the test cases, we need to write the test cases. Okay, we need to get ready with the test plan. So here, so we are doing certain jobs before we are getting the complete build to the testing team. So here test cases means, okay, so here till now clear or not?